Hello everyone and welcome to the Armchair Gooner page again. Video blog of a season for an Arsenal supporter in 2019. Look at that hair, look at that. Woof. That's what following Arsenal does to you. It turns you grey and it makes you pull it out and it makes it go all frizzy. Because yet again, Arsenal are about to let one of their better players go because of contract issues. Now, we'll get to that in a minute. Mainly what I'm going to talk about, it's going to be a really short video because there's only really the Aaron Ramsey thing and an easy 2-1 win against Huddersfield to talk about. So we'll start on the game. It's going to be nice and easy, nice and quick. We're 2/3 of the way through the season now. I don't know what to say about this Arsenal team. There are so many improvements to it, which we've talked about before on previous videos. You know, Huddersfield is a game that we probably were expected to win. They got a new manager in, so that might have affected them like they did with Southampton when they beat us. But all in all, it's a game that we're expected to win. It's a game we probably would have drawn or lost last year with our horrific away record. But we got the points this year. Now, is this because of or in spite of Unai Emery? I don't know. Still only his first season. I'm not going to sort the guy. I'm not going to call for him to be sacked. I'm not going to say be careful what you wish for, all that nonsense. We've got a new manager in. You back the new manager. First season and a half. First season's a free hit. Second half of the second. Sorry, start again. First season is a free hit. The first half of the second season, you get to know, up to the second transfer window in December, you get to know your manager. We get to really know what he's all about. He should have brought his own players in by then. You know, obviously he has this season anyway, in the closed season. So we're not going to go down the Unai Emery route in terms of sorting him or anything like that. But we can question him. We can question to see where this new Arsenal is heading. And for me, I'm not sure. And I don't think he knows. I think he's got a rough idea of styles and formations, players and whatnot. But I just don't think he's either had the chance to get all of the ones that you want, all the players that you wanted on the pitch at the right time together, or he hasn't had the right balance of player and positioning. If we go through the team, I'm pretty sure he probably wouldn't have expected Leno to play as many games as he did. You know, he brought him in, but Petr Cech was quite clearly his number one at the beginning of the season. But, you know, Petr showed that he wasn't able to keep up with this season. Still a good shot stopper, but the rest of his game was going. That's no disrespect to him. He's getting on. He's done it all. He's probably sensing a new broom sweeping clean. So, you know, he's stepping down at the end of the season anyway. So I think it was a natural progression. Fine. Bernardo comes in. We've been really unlucky with Hector Bellerin this year. He's improved defensively, gone back to where he was when he first broke in as a player under AW. But 2 mega injuries have robbed us of that player. So what we did have was Lichtsteiner. Now, I don't know if he's an Emery signing or a Sven Mislintat signing. Obviously, Sven leaving us now. So that'd be interesting to see. Again, that's what I mean about the transfer. That'd be interesting to see what Unai does, what his team does, who these new people bring in, who they've identified. Because Lichtsteiner probably, I think every Gooner will admit, was beyond the Premier League. It's a bit slower paced in it, at least. We could probably get away with it a bit better. There's no doubt he's a great player in his day. Just probably, I would say he's like a West Ham sort of signing. And that's not a dig at West Ham. It's just he's not, you know, lower table. Definitely mid-table player in the Premier League. And we, as a club, as Arsenal, need to be looking beyond that. Great stopgap, really good experience for, you know, but if you're picking Ainsley Maitland-Niles ahead of him, Ainsley Maitland-Niles is a midfielder, then there's obviously something wrong there. You know, I personally, I've said before in the last video, I personally would prefer to see Jenks there for the rest of the season. Now, he's not going to do any worse. He won't do any better, you know. So give the guy the experience that he wants and needs. You know, we've lost over the full season. You know, we've lost. We had no Koscielny at the start. We've lost Holding. Socrates has got injured. Mustafi's a liability. He's not the defender that we expected him to. So there's an issue at the back there that we needed sorting out. And we haven't been able to. I don't think he's been able to play his first choice centre back pairing. And then at left back you've got Monreal, who, as good a servant as he is for the club, I don't think he's the best left back we could have. Kolasinac's the same. I love Kolasinac. I love his desire. He's running forward. His attacking ability is brilliant. His positioning at defence is shocking. And that makes you wonder, so that's our back five, and they're all ifs, buts and maybes. You can't sustain a decent challenge of any level, top four, top six. You know, you're certainly going to not make the break into the top two the way Man City and Liverpool are at the moment, with if, buts and maybes along the back line. So that makes you wonder what Stevie Bold is playing at. Maybe we need a new defensive coach, because they're not getting any better. They're not progressing as defenders in the way you'd expect them to. We thought that might have been Arsene Wenger. The same mistakes are happening under Unai Emery, so maybe it's not the management, maybe it's the coaching. Then we go into midfield. And you've got, obviously the Ozil thing is taking over. I genuinely now think that he wants Mkhitaryan there instead of Ozil. I've said before, if you're going to play Lacazette and Aubameyang up front, which I would, then you need to play Ozil behind the two of them, because otherwise you lose Aubameyang. He's probably thinking he's going to play Mkhitaryan there, who works harder probably than Ozil, but he's not the player that Ozil is. Obviously now, and we'll get onto it, we're losing Ramsey, but you've got Iwobi there. Emil Smith-Rowe's gone on loan. You've got Torreira and Guendouzi, right? They're his two boys. They're his two signings, or at least we think they are. There might have been Sven signings as well. We're not entirely sure. I've seen tweets and bits and pieces that show that Arsene Wenger was scouting Guendouzi last season. So was he an Arsene player? We don't know. But whatever. I've had my times with Guendouzi this year. He's definitely getting better. Against Man City, he was one of our best players. He's picking the wrong pass at times, but that's because he's only 19, right? He has got youth on his side, right? Now, if we go to Iwobi, right, let's go to the Huddersfield game, right? Iwobi scores the goal. Yeah, it gets a little deflection. He has to be fair to him, he's got the balls to take on the shot. It goes in. You shoot, you score. You pay your money. You buy the ticket. You've got more chance of winning. So he's done that. Brilliant. He's got pace to burn. His decision making in the final third is what lets him down. I'm not digging him. This is not an attack on Iwobi. He's a young player. He's playing for Arsenal. He's come through the ranks. Everything brilliant. Love it. Great. They're the sort of players we want in the side, alongside established players like Mesut Ozil. But that doesn't mean to say we can't point out what is obvious, that he needs coaching in the final third. He needs to get that head calm, right? He needs to look up, have his head up. We don't need a Raheem Sterling type player who's just run and get a ball in quick. I want him to be a sort of player that can pick out a pass. I know this is going to sound weird because they're two completely different players. I would bring Wright in. I'd bring Wright in and work alongside him, because if you've got that, what Ian Wright had, you can't really teach, but what he had was an innate ability to know where the ball was going to be, where the goal was, and all that sort of thing. Right? If you can eliminate the scatterbrain, if you can eliminate that scared, as footballers of a mediocre to poor level, right up to the top, right? You see the goals, suddenly the adrenaline starts pumping. Right? You're through. If you're not, especially if you're not a natural born scorer, like Ian Wright was, you rush, you panic, and you make the wrong decision. If you can get right into that guy's head for that, so that when he gets into, like I say, not goal scoring in particular, but getting him in and around the box, to take that minute to think, they're my options. Assess quickly which one's my better one. Do I shoot? There's one chance against Huddersfield. If Iwobi shot and if he'd just rolled it to Lacazette was furious with him, because if he'd just rolled it to him, it was an open goal, 3-0. We won the game, so it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But that's what I would do. I genuinely, Rai would do it. I genuinely think it would make him a better player. And then, your Iwobis and your Lacazettes, there's not much more you can teach them. They're up there anyway. It's just about keeping them at that level. So that's, so 2-1. It's not a great deal I can say about the game. It's a 2-1 win against Huddersfield. Fine. So we move on to the Aaron Ramsey thing. He's going to get paid more at Juventus than Ronaldo, right? Fine. There's no transfer fee involved. Of course they're going to pay him more. What's Ronaldo going to think? World Player of the Year, European Championship winner, multi-European Cup winner, won leagues in Portugal, England and Spain. Looks like he's going to do it in Italy as well. 4 different titles in 4 different countries. That's why for me he's above Messi in terms of player of the century, or whatever you want to call it, if you want, because people like to do this too. Compare the two. Messi's only ever done it in Spain. Ronaldo has had the bottle to move around and do it. That's literally that's the margin. Probably technically as a player, Messi is better, right? But I'm getting away from the point. Aaron Ramsey is leaving Arsenal because we didn't offer him the sort of contract that probably he deserved in his own mind. Love Rambo. He will go down, as I said earlier on, as an Emirates-era Arsenal legend. But when you look at his stats, I think in his entire career he played 193 games up until this video. He scored 30-odd goals, 40 goals, 38 goals. It's not a great return for an attacking midfielder. Yes, he had a long period out. Yes, he didn't always play in central midfield. But in 11 years, I think it was 11 games played away from Arsenal. So let's say for argument's sake, 170 games, probably 36 goals for Arsenal in 11 years. 17 games a season, not great, is it? In a 38 season league, 38 game league. He's not getting younger. So fair play to Ramsey for getting this contract. I think in Italy he will be amazing. He'll be the new David Platty type player out there. He'll get box-to-box goals. He can play for a lot longer in Italy probably because of the speed of the game, but the defending is different. And as I've always said, fair play. He's going abroad. He's going to do it. Like I say with Ronaldo, I still think English players need to go away and learn their trade in a different country. That's why the teams like France, Germany, Brazil, all these teams at international level go on and do things at international level because their players have experienced different styles of play. They're not coached the same way. Our way, the English way, run it, full speed ahead, flying to tackles, do this, do that. They're not being coached different styles. Yes, we've got different coaches coming in now, but they're not playing. They're still playing the English way in a weird kind of way. They're still playing on bogged down pitches in the FA Cup games and stuff. Get them out there, experience different things. You'll make you a better player. And that's what Ramsey's going out to do. So brilliant. Honestly, I applaud him. He's been a servant for Arsenal. We've helped him out as well, don't forget, with a broken leg. A lot of clubs could have waited for him to come back and then sold him perhaps and said, like we did with Eduardo. Eduardo went. I'm just flabbergasted. My gast is flabbered. How he can command the same sort of money as Ronaldo just because there's no transfer fee involved. You're not going to get many games out of him. I don't know where he'll fit in that. I mean, he's obviously been brought in to replace the Pogba role that's been missing from United for a couple of years. But football's crazy, man, crazy. Yes, Ozil's on that sort of money. Should we have given it to Ramsey instead? I don't know. Even apparently Arsene Wenger was quite mad at how much Ozil was getting paid ahead of everyone else, but that's because Arsene wanted to keep the whole equilibrium going on. But it's another. What really annoys me is it's another player we've allowed to get down to this point. We've allowed to get down to the contract being reduced to 0. Mesut's going to go the same way. He's not going to move. He's not going to hesitate for a transfer. And if someone comes in for him and says, "Nah, don't want it. I'll sit here. I'll sit on this contract and go at the end of it," because that's what Arsenal do. We're not ruthless enough. We're not mean enough. I don't know why Emery is doing what he's doing with Ozil. He obviously doesn't like him as a player. He obviously wants, in my opinion, Mkhitaryan to play in that position instead, probably to bring the best out of Aubameyang. I don't know. But there we go. I mean, none of us know that we're not working on the inside of Arsenal Football Club. What can you do? We're losing another. Well, he is one of our better players. Maybe Emery thinks that Torreira will be that player. Fill his boots. I hope he does. He's a younger player. He's more tenacious, I think, in the tackle. He won't get you the goals that Ramsey did, but then Ramsey, like I say, he had one good half a season. So what are we really losing when you look at it statistically wise? Anyway, there we are. Huddersfield 1, Arsenal 2. They didn't even score their goal. We scored it for them. Klasnats Oggy. Chelsea lost 6-0 at the weekend to Man City. Just wanted to drop that in there. So we're now in 5th place. We've got the Europa League, Bate Borisov on Valentine's Day. Let's hope it's a massacre. And then we'll see you back for the second leg of that in a week's time. Enjoy your football, whoever you support. That's all I've got to say this week. Cheers.